Hello, I'm Maynard Eaton, along with producer Okeeba Jubalo, and welcome to Georgia Power, our show that focuses on people who influence and impact our state, our nation, if not the world. And joining us for this show is Michelle Taylor Willis, the publisher and owner of the South Fulton Lifestyle magazine. Michelle, welcome.
Thank you very much. Honored to be here.
Thank you. There are a lot of magazines in Atlanta. YBE that Okeeba owns, Rolling Out magazine is popular, Atlanta Tribune that I helped start, SCLC magazine, the Atlanta Business Journal. How does yours fit into that milieu of magazines?
Well, it's interesting. You know, South Fulton Lifestyle really is kind of a niche. Lifestyle Publications is a corporate company, and so I actually own the license for the South Fulton County area. And so we really believe in hyper-local, community-based magazines. And this has been great for the South Fulton County area because, as you know, we've lost a little bit of our brand over the last 20, 30 years. And I felt like this magazine was really a medium to where we could kind of grab that brand back and show people all the wonderful gems, the beautiful things that are happening really in South Fulton County.
Is this tough journalism, hard-hitting news stuff, or is it about pretty stuff and nice things?
Yeah, no, this is a luxury lifestyle brand. I mean, we're not, trying to solve any social justice issues or anything like that. We are all about everything good in South Fulton County. Great teachers, great neighborhoods, great restaurants, and we do showcase some things. If a politician is doing something great, we showcase it. If somebody's making changes and doing great things in the area, we will highlight those things. But really, this is everything good and positive about South Fulton County.
Is it editorially driven or visually driven? Because it's a pretty magazine, pretty pictures in there.
It is pretty, yeah. So we have a very high...
You are too, so is that part of the strategy here? Honestly now.
We like all things pretty, right? And here's the thing, bottom line, people don't like to read anymore. So what we do is kind of wrap great editorial around beautiful pictures. So our covers are always great, as you can see. The pictures and the editorial are always great. We usually have very big, large, beautiful, bright pictures surrounded by captivating editorial because that's what people like. People are drawn to the eye with the pictures, and then they read a story and it's like, oh, that's my neighbor, right? Or I know that guy, or I pass him in Publix every weekend. So we want something that looks really good. We use great stock, we use great photographers, we use great writers, but yeah, we envelope beautiful pictures and great
so photojournalism kind of drives your editorial content.
I would say so, but it's weird, Maynard, because we are driven by great positive editorial. Anything good that's happening in South Fulton, we want it. We want to captivate and highlight those stories, but we add beautiful pictures to it because we know that people will be driven to the editorial by the pictures.
Michelle, isn't that a bit different in this world of journalism? Because most times news is negative or it's hard-hitting. We talk about journalism every day. We'll talk about that a little later.
Yeah.
But you've taken a different niche. Let's not make it so punchy. Let's make it palatable and nice and something we can enjoy rather than cringe from. Is that part of the philosophy?
Yeah, it is. And actually, the guy who started Lifestyle Publications, I don't know, about 10 years ago, that was his whole thing. There's all of this punchiness and all this hard hitting and this drama and all this negative stuff. And really he was thinking, when I come home, I don't want to hear about the negative. I wish there was something that I could see that was just positive. We got enough of the negative, right? And so that's what we do with Lifestyle Publications. That's specifically what I like to do in South Fulton. We want to have headlines that are positive, encouraging, about South Fulton, uplifting, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So there are plenty of people in South Fulton, I imagine, who fit that bill because you talk about profiles of photos of successful people. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Is that kind of the agenda? Let's find somebody who's doing something good here.
Absolutely. Sometimes that drives our covers, right? Mm-hmm. And sometimes it just drives great editorial. But the thing is that there's so many people in South Fulton. Kids. We've profiled really cute kids that are publishing books, right? And creating $1 million companies that live in South Fulton County, right? And of course, there are adults that do great jobs too, but at the end of the day, there's so many people changing the world that live right here in SoFu, and we want everybody to know about it, and nobody else is going to cover them, and so we will.
Kent Bazemore, an Atlanta Hawk,
Yes.
gracing your cover.
Yeah.
Is it because he's a South Fulton resident or because he's doing something good in South Fulton?
It's because he's doing something good in South Fulton, and really in an area that is kind of butts up against South Fulton. So Kent was actually the face of the TBT, the basketball tournament that happened last weekend. And ESPN covered it. It was at Georgia State, I believe, or Georgia Tech. I can't remember which one. Georgia State. And so this is somebody, again, who is taking everything that he has, kind of like LeBron James, right, and pouring it back into the community. He wasn't born here, but he plays here. He has a heart for Atlanta. And so he's putting his resources back into neighborhoods that need it, where nobody else is putting that money back in. People like Kent Bazemore are doing that. And so we wanted to highlight him and applaud him for doing that.
Michelle, this week our president talked about how journalism, the media, are the enemy of the people. Well, how did that impact you as a publisher? It's not doing the kind of stuff that covering the president, but you are a publisher, you are media, you are a journalist.
Yeah.
How did that strike you?
You know what? I don't even get into that. I mean, again, what we're doing is it's so basic. It really is. I mean, it's luxury lifestyle. It's cool stuff. It's fun stuff.
Cool stuff.
It is. It really is. And so, I mean, I feel like there's enough people covering all of that. I mean, there's enough people that can counter those claims. That's not my space at all. And I don't want it to be, right? I mean, when people think of what's awesome, what's good, what's right, I want them to think of South Fulton Lifestyle Magazine.
You catch any criticism because of that?
I don't.
Are there those who might say, hey, you should be doing this or doing that? Or no?
I've never heard, believe it or not, I've never heard that. Because there's outlets out there that do it, and so, I mean, there's a South Fulton Neighbor, there's South Fulton Living, which I think is digital. So there are other outlets out there that are focused on both sides, or all, spheres of the spectrum in South Fulton County. But nobody is focused on just talking about, the Aerotropolis Alliance, right? And all the wonderful things that are happening there, right? Or the Atlanta Hawks G League that they're building.
In East Point, right?
In East Point, or College Park, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
Nobody's talking about that stuff. The 320-acre development that just came up, or that's about to come up. So that's what we want to talk about. There's enough people talking about all that other stuff.
What moved you to do this? I mean, you're an entrepreneur by trade, but you're not necessarily a journalist.
I'm not.
What moved you to say, let's do this South Fulton lifestyle publication?
Yeah. So interesting. I'm an entrepreneur, so I'm always looking for revenue generating opportunities. And so when this was presented, I felt like this would be a great way to make some money. But really, Maynard, as I got deeper into it, and it didn't take long, maybe 30 or 60 days after I purchased the publication, I realized that South Fulton needed a voice that it did not have. It was getting a voice from Channel 2 and Channel 11, and but that voice was not really what South Fulton County is about. And so again, I saw an opportunity to really brand the area, and I wanted to brand it positively, and I knew that South Fulton Lifestyle Magazine could do that.
Michelle Taylor Willis, the publisher of South Fulton Lifestyle Magazine. We'll be back in just a moment to talk about South Fulton County, what's there, and why is it working. Stay tuned.
There's so many talented artists who need, assistance with their branding, their marketing, and even how they manage themselves as business professionals. Because there's so much time spent on, working on your craft, but working on your business is just as important, if not more. And thankfully I've been, I'm able to move in both arenas at the same time. So that's very motivating for me, especially being involved in situations where artists are, making sales and everything based on some of the things that I'm setting up. And that's a beautiful thing, man, because as an artist, I know how important it is to really be able to have some good clients and some good collectors and some great transactions. So that's very motivating for me.
Hello again and welcome back to Georgia Power. Our guest, Michelle Taylor Willis, who is a publisher of South Fulton Lifestyle magazine. We're sitting here in the Commerce Club because this is where you operate from. This is your kind of your business center because you do more than just a publication. But why here at the Commerce Club?
So I've been a member of the Commerce Club for probably about 8 years. I had another business that I actually still have. And so we needed, and it wasn't central to South Fulton, and we needed a place where we could work out of, where I could entertain clients and have business meetings and things like that. And I can't remember how I found out about the Commerce Club. I think I probably came to a meeting here, and so I ended up joining, and it's been great.
It works for you.
It works, yeah, it works awesome.
Everybody here knows you.
Well, that's very kind of you to say. But yeah, I mean, we've been around for a while, so they should know me by now for sure. But I like it, they make you feel very important when you're here. And it's impressive to be able to bring, clients and prospects and collaborators and team members to a place.
Do you enjoy
like
that part of your business lifestyle to impress? I mean, is that part of your success? How to entertain, how to deal with prospective business?
I'm entertainer extraordinaire. Like that is literally something I love. I'm a party girl. I love throwing parties. Even, for the magazine, we have events. We throw about 3 or 4 signature events a year, and then we do smaller little round table things. But if I can find an excuse to get a whole bunch of people in a room, put some music on and give some stuff away and have some good drinks, I'm all about it. But I like entertaining. I'm a connector, right? So I like connecting with people, and I like connecting other people, and then I like watching people connect. So what better way to do that than to entrtain and have parties, right? And eat. And I love to eat.
Oh, come on. You
I
can't.
absolutely love to eat.
You don't eat much.
Oh, I eat. Oh, trust me. You just take me out sometime and watch me order. I probably don't eat that much, but I like to try. I want everything on the menu, and I want you to get different stuff than what I get so that I can taste
You
it.
can sample it.
Absolutely, yes.
Is South Fulton your base of operations, though? Is that where you live and work and play other than here in the Commerce Club? Or are you a multi-area kind of metro Atlanta kind of person?
Yeah, I'm all over the place. When I first bought the publication, I lived in South Fulton. I lived in South Fulton for almost 11 years. And so I watched it grow. I mean, we moved there when they had just finished building not too long, the Publix and the Target on Camp Creek. And I lived there until about a year ago. And so, but I've kind of branched out. I mean, I'm all over Atlanta at this point. But South Fulton is really, it's like my baby. I mean, I'm down there still almost every day during the week. My doctors are down there. I'm a physical therapist. My hub is pretty much South Fulton, and most of what I do is down in South Fulton. But because of...
No, I'm going to say that answer. Your hub is South Fulton. You're here at the Commerce Club right now doing this show.
Yeah.
Times in the past, again, I've been here 40 years, people would say my hub is downtown Atlanta. You're saying your hub can be transitioned now to South Fulton.
Most of what I do is out of South Fulton.
Doesn't that say something about how Atlanta's changing?
Yeah, Atlanta is absolutely changing. And here's the thing: is getting people to really jump on the bandwagon. So South Fulton is kind of, again, that's my love. It's literally like my first love in Atlanta, right? And so I think people need to understand this transition that's happening, and that it's not about Buckhead or Midtown or North Fulton anymore. Everything that is happening is south. There's nowhere else for it to be.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, all the land is down south. The opportunities are down south. The resources are down south. There's nowhere else to do anything other than down south. And so people have got to at some point start realizing that. I mean, and a lot of people are already. I mean, Porsche built their national headquarters in Hapeville, right?
And there was nothing at Hapeville prior.
There was nothing in Hapeville. I mean, even the Ford, it's in the old Ford location, right? That was gone for years. And Porsche took a chance and planted right there. And now they have the first 5-star hotel that's ever been in Sofu right there on Porsche property. I mean, so people need to think about it. I mean, would Porsche put its operation center in the middle of something that they did not think was going to end up being great? No. The answer is no, of course they wouldn't. So, if you want to be...
Sofu's on the rise.
Sofu is absolutely on the rise, and Sofu is Atlanta, And I love all of Atlanta. I mean, I have clients, from south all the way north and east and west, right? But I absolutely have a heart.
You
for
say it
soul
with
food.
passion too.
Yeah, I do.
Atlanta was once known, or to many still known, as a black mecca.
Mm-hmm.
You think soul food now is kind of borrowing part of that crown?
Yeah, I think so, and I think it's just kind of the nature of the beast. It's funny because people look at South Fulton Lifestyle magazine and they go, "Oh man, it's a black magazine," and it's really not. It just happens to be centered on an area where there is so much black influence, affluence, impact, right? And so it's great. I mean, I love it. I mean, obviously I'm black, so I have some loyalty there, and I love that. But South Fulton County is an area where anybody can thrive. All you got to do is come down there and make the effort and get connected, because the people that do it now are going to be the people that win in the next 5, 10, 15 years. And if you wait, it's going to be too late.
You're a major player in South Fulton also. You're on the Chamber of Commerce there. You're somebody to know, aren't you? Thank you for allowing me to know you.
Well, you're welcome. It will cost you. I'll send you a bill when we're done.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess. I'm thankful because I think, honestly, Maynard, I've just made really great contacts in South Fulton. And so I see a huge value in a lot of the people there and the businesses there and the municipalities. You said it earlier, I'm a cheerleader. I mean, I'm a cheerleader for whoever, with whomever I'm aligned. And so I'm aligned with a lot of great people in South Fulton County. I'm aligned with a lot of great businesses. I'm all over Atlanta. And so I think I've just been very fortunate and blessed to get connected to a lot of the right people.
But you're also a multifaceted entrepreneur. You're doing a lot of different things other than just publishing. You're launching a public speaking career?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's funny, I've been speaking for a while and getting paid for it. I just didn't really have it formalized. And so earlier this year we launched MTW Enterprises, which is my personal brand. And out of that company we do conferences. We're actually going to start our first conference called the Moms All In Conference here in Atlanta in October. And that is for entrepreneurial-minded women who are really trying to have it all, be moms, be wives, be successful businesswomen, and find that balance to be able to do everything pretty well. I also speak. I mean, my passion is to empower and inspire and motivate people to live their life or live like this entrepreneurial lifestyle and to live and monetize their passions. I love teaching people and training people and inspiring people to learn how to do that.
So you're coaching as well as counseling folks?
Not necessarily. It's more in a larger spectrum, but I guess I could. Maybe I should start doing some one-on-one coaching. Man, you are full of ideas. Let me just tell you. Maybe I do need to pull you on my team, maybe.
Hey, I'd like
but no, it's in larger sessions or settings, right? emceeing, I MC events and host events and do things like that.
Is it personality-driven public speaking, or there's a message and a meaning and a strategy to what you're saying at each different operation? Each different.
A little bit of both, right? I am a little bit of a personality. Maybe not to anybody else, but to myself, I crack myself up. So that's really all that matters, right? But there absolutely is a message, and the baseline and the fundamental belief I have in everything that I do and everything that I would inspire or encourage others to believe is that it starts and stops with confidence. Everything starts up here, right? And so, and I say it all the time on my videos, you're awesome, but if you don't believe it, nobody else will, ever. And so if you can get in your mind that you are the best at what you do and nobody does what you do better than you, 80% of it is done. At that point now, we just have to put plans in place and we have to execute, right? But once you do that, I talk about this alignment zone where you're living your passion, right? And you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, but you're also lined up with your purpose, with what, God or whoever you align with. I align with God, right? But whatever you're purposed for.
Yes.
And once you're operating in that space that I call the alignment zone, then it's not, it's not that you don't have challenges or it isn't tough, but things literally start lining up for you. And when you're in the alignment zone, when you're walking in your purpose, right? And you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, things are just a lot easier and they flow.
Because you're in your rhythm.
You're in your rhythm, you're in your space. And there's a confidence that comes with that, and you know it. I mean, you know people that you see them walk up and down the street, you see them enter the room, and they just have a confidence about them. And it's not fake, it's an authentic.
It's not cocky.
It's not cocky.
Convinced.
They're convinced, right? Like a good lady in pink and green. They're not conceited, they're just convinced. I'm an AKA, I had to do that, right? But you know those people. Those people know that without a doubt, they're the best at what they do, and they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. They're operating in their passion, and they're operating, in the space where they've been called, what they've been purposed for. Once you put those two things together, I mean, you can't lose.
Michelle Taylor Willis, you got me so.
You're thinking of Married to Michelle, my blog and my
that's right.
web address. So that's probably where you're going.
But you sort of in your space and sort of doing what you've been called to do.
Yeah.
The South Fulton Lifestyle Magazine is one of your many entrepreneurial enterprises. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on.
You are soulful. You really are.
I try to be.
The cheerleader, the queen of soulful.
Thanks.
I'm Maynard Eaton along with Okeeba Jubalo. This has been Georgia Power.